Baby girl. Y'all want to hear something crazy? What if I told you Drake ain't even write that? Damn. Drake didn't even write that, bruh. Look, this is going to be a very surgical video, so if you're not prepared to think a little bit and you don't have the intellect to kick it with me for a quick second, just slide off right now. Have a good day. Drake just got exposed. They saying that he did not do the Nokia. They singing my boy going to country, scooping up these artists that don't know what's going on and taking their stuff out, man. Now, some of y'all are act surprised, and some of y'all are go, Drake been doing that. For those that don't know, you remember that song? Too much, too much, too much, too much. You know, these are songs that were already done without him. But anyway, let's cut the small talk. Let me know where you from in the comments. Welcome to Rich House Reviews, man. We gonna break this down, man. It's crazy.
Drake. As right now, Nokia is the last thing that Drake has even kind of had going for him, and he...
Hold on, man. I gotta hit the first word.
Now, when it comes to Drake,
okay.
As right now, Nokia is the last thing that Drake has even kind of had going for him, and he is trying to turn this song into the anthem that will save his entire career as we speak. As now, this is the only song left from Drake's SSS For You album that is being looked at under a microscope because it's the only thing that didn't just come and go right after it dropped. After diving into the origins of this record and how Drake exactly made one song that has not flopped since his downfall has started, what has now been discovered is that with every single part of this record that is considered even slightly memorable, Drake did not have any part in making this song, and only just stamped his name on the final thing after doing
Baby
none of the
girl.
work. And with everything else that has already been going against the guy, this could have never came at a worse time, and it has never made him look like more of a fraud. And now, before we go any further into all of...
Hold on, bro. Is this man dressed like a cow, bro? Hey, yo, that ain't camouflage. He look like a cow. Like, who told...
worst time, and it has never made him look like
Drake.
more of a fraud. And now, before we go any further into
Dressed
all
like
of this,
a cow.
be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and as what just happened has shown that Drake's biggest song right now didn't even come from him, really be sure to leave that like so hip-hop can once and for all see how much Drake has tried to deceive all of us. And so now, with that said, when it comes to Drake, with the controversy surrounding how Nokia was made, everything coming out is really putting into perspective one of the most telling moments about the current state of where Drake's career is at as a whole. Because really what this is showing is that even when Drake is making us all think that he is up with this record, it's all an illusion because it didn't actually come from him, and the only reason he has had any success to his name recently is because another artist had a decent idea which he just fully stole. And now what has come out that has just made Drake look worse than ever has been a recent finding with an artist who goes by the name Elkin, who is credited on this song for vocals and production, but nobody would have expected his impact on this song to be this big. Because with a guy who has respect in the industry and who has worked in the background for songs from big names like Metro Boomin and Russ, with this Nokia record, he had the entire thing done in October with just his own voice, and all the catchy parts from the Who Callin' My Phone intro, and also the beat drops and switches, and with the whole roll call of names and samples. And with all of this, and again, this isn't just the instrumental or a small...
Bro, why would you do this after Kendrick destroyed you?
section that played here, but it's the entire melody and arrangement of the track with all of its memorable parts and all of its vocals, except it's just not Drake's voice and instead his own. While the credits would make you think that Drake was in the studio with this guy and they just made this record by collaborating together, what this video he made shows us where the song is playing well before it was ever released. It's just that Drake didn't do a single thing other than put his name on a good idea. And now while Drake fans and people have been trying to spin this thing as just being a reference track, from both the way this song was made...
Yo, your whole career cannot be a reference track, bro. It can't, bro. If you agree right, can't. Your whole career cannot be a reference track, bro. When is it you, bro? You don't never do nothing, bro. Every time we see you, yo, I've never seen Drake with a pen, bro. For real. I've never seen Drake with a pen, just that dirty-ass BlackBerry.
to the way he has presented it to the people. He is just lying to everyone, and while Drake fans are trying to act like he didn't do anything wrong here because he did credit the artist, and I mean the artist was actually fine with this, at the same time, I know Drake fans and anybody in OVO will never admit this, but doesn't it feel off that the only song that you have popping right now is a track that was made and performed by another guy originally, and then that Drake just put his name on altogether? Because really, for so many reasons, both when you think about how this only shows that Drake's best ability currently is taking other more talented and creative artists' ideas, and also in more perplexing that he still does not have the ability to make catchy pop songs back like many are trying to say that this song was. I mean, overall, while if we were in past eras for Drake where he was seen in a better place and had other things going for him, this really would not be as big of a problem, but with an entire album and era where all of the other 20 records from this project are next to forgotten already and the only one sticking was made by another guy, I mean, this is just lame and there's no other way to put it, and especially when you consider that this is becoming the anthem for OVO and Drake, not just because it's a catchy song, but because to them it's now representing the return of Drake and how he has never fallen off and how the industry did not ruin his career. I mean, with this entire song just being something that he just stamped his name on and didn't put in the work to actually make it what it is. It's just lying to everyone, and both from the fact that Drake clearly is not going to be able to do something like this again, because even when we think about this song compared to SSS For You, the rest of the album was so boring and dull that this was one of the only tracks that even stood out, and really just from that we should have known that he didn't make it. No matter how you want to look at it, when you understand that this song is not really his, it's just weird, and especially for Drake and everyone around him in this time where they are not just trying to celebrate Drake having a major record, but they are trying to use this exact song as the moment that is showing that he has won over Kendrick Lamar. That
I agree. It's not that we don't know that he do this stuff. It's just that we kind of wanted him to kind of have his moment.
He is better than him and that he is the king of hip hop. This is just ridiculous, and it's actually an elaborate lie that Drake is really trying to pull off. And what's so funny about everything that Drake does is that with his comeback song, which is performing better than anything else he has done, being something that another artist did and that he just put his name on, while they are doing everything they can to just frame this as a win. Now that the origin of how Drake made this song is something that we can all see and understand, once again, and even when he is trying to turn something into a victory, he is showing why he is not like Kendrick, hip-hop, and any other rapper, because this is the most anti-hip-hop thing you could possibly do and think of.
Imagine Kendrick got Not Like Us written by somebody else.
And really, with Drake just taking a successful and interesting concept from another artist and just lifting it as his own, if anything, what Drake is showing is that he should not be respected in hip-hop anymore, because this is just not what rappers do. And with someone like Kendrick Lamar, whose every idea is so clearly original and authentic to himself, I mean, this just goes against how every other great rapper, and even the ones who make these big popular songs, has ever worked. And really what Drake is proving here is that he shouldn't even be in conversations with rappers anymore, and really, what he wants to be more like than the biggest rappers are the biggest pop stars right now, because when it comes to what all of the big artists do in that lane, with every single one of those major singers, no matter who you want to look at, this entire industry and star power of the biggest names in it has been continued and pushed by this exact practice that we are seeing with Drake here, because these major artists who keep having these massive songs for so long, I mean, if it wasn't obvious, they have teams that are designing these tracks to be the biggest things they possibly can, or they just find good ideas from smaller artists and end up taking them to create something that sounds fresh and creative that they can put their name on. And I mean, this is exactly what Drake has done with this Nokia song. And with this, if Drake just wanted to stay in this lane and claim his title of being a pop star, not a rapper, for what he's doing here, that would be fine. But to try and use this lifted song from another guy as your comeback statement and claim that you are the top
take that
rapper,
damn
which is
cow
what
coat
seeing
off.
happen right now. And again, he can't do no wrong in his fans' eyes, so they are just pushing this more and more. This is just laughable and ridiculous, and again, only proves what Kendrick Lamar is saying to look more true than it ever has been. Because Drake, of course, just did not even try to lift up the formula and methods that rappers use to create genuinely good music, and instead is using methods that only singers would ever use, and really with this has just proved that he is more like Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter than he will ever be to Kendrick Lamar. And just proving how inauthentic Nokia was for Drake. What's honestly interesting about this, and I think just exposes how little Drake was involved with the creative process of this record, and why it feels both unlike anything else on this album, and even why it has taken him so long wrong to actually support the song is because first off for Drake, he clearly just did this song and took it for whatever reason, but did not even see its full potential or understand what the record could be, because both in terms of the track listing and how they pushed this record, he would have put this thing much earlier in the track list to catch people's attention if he knew that what he was doing was going to be as big of a song when it dropped. And also, as Drake did not put any support into getting this record to radio and streaming and push songs like Gimme a Hug instead, this also showcased how Drake just didn't even understand what this record could be whatsoever, and even more telling about how disconnected Drake has been from this song that he lifted from somebody else, and really when we look at all of this, got lucky with, because it's now really helping him more than anything else has, is that even with the song's music video, it all makes sense now because Drake fundamentally missed the point and vibe of why this song is actually getting traction in the first place, and instead twisted the message and used this song that this other artist made to continue his beef with Kendrick and to try and send all of these weird disses to Kendrick Lamar, which only made both the video feel off and made him look more ridiculous in this moment entirely. And again, from Drake ripping this song, and now from the way that he has not even understood what this record could be really until now, what this is telling us is that even in this era where Drake's hip-hop card has been questioned more than it ever has, that he can't even pretend to be a rapper, and if anything, he is more of a pop star than ever right now, and whether he will admit it or not, more than just the titles of what type of artist he wants to be, what all of this is really revealing, and what I'm sure Drake doesn't want us all to know, is that he has not gotten better artistically since the beef whatsoever, and because this song is not from him, it is not the comeback he needed whatsoever, because really, with this record being a lucky guess that has ended up to work out well for him, both from the fact that he didn't even see its full potential until people responded to it, to also just knowing now that it's not from him and it's another artist's original idea. I mean, no matter how much people like this song or want to see more of it, he can't follow this up because a song and moment like this was never a part of his own story and was only ever a chapter that he pretended to call his own. And so now with this, while Drake and his community are trying to cover this all up and act like this is just another reference track which means nothing, let's call this for what it is, which is firsthand seeing that Drake has lost his creative ability and has no new ideas whatsoever, and that if anything, whatever that's coming from him that's sticking even a little bit is only happening because the only skill he has right now is taking other people's ideas and not actually coming up with new stuff on his own. So now with us knowing this and seeing how little he contributed to what Nokia was altogether, again, when it comes to Drake ever being respected as a rapper again and joining back in a debate and conversation around who's the best MC in any sort of meaningful or authentic way, that's never happening again. It's all over and he's out of here, because with the last thing Drake has and the first thing his fans can actually call a win being a song that he didn't actually contribute anything original to other than just putting his name on it, he has managed to once again show that even if he has something that's being framed as a win, that he is so far gone and has reached just such desperate measures to make anyone believe that his career is in a better place than it really is, that it somehow is really a loss, and it's only proving everything Kendrick Lamar has said to be more than true. And because of this, well, when you really see what's going on with all of this like we all have, we just know that there is really no other rappers who have lied to us so consistently as Drake. And eventually, while he even thinks he's getting away with this Nokia record now, this is all gonna crumble and it will ruin his entire legacy in the hip-hop world if it hasn't been ruined already. And so now with all this said, let me know, what do you think about what's going on with Drake and Nokia, what this all means, and what do you think this says about the...
So, alright, my whole view on this thing is, if you're gonna come back out and you're gonna show out all the way, man. Don't show out half-ass. You know what I'm saying? Show out all the way. Don't be like utilizing other people's stuff and think that that's gonna get you on, because it's not gonna work. I'm gonna put the video up. That's gonna show the proof. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what channel I'm gonna release this video on. It's gonna be on one of these channels. I mean, it ain't gonna be on the crime channel. It ain't gonna be on the comedy channel. I know that much. It's either gonna be on Bars or Rich House Reviews. So, make sure y'all subscribe, hit the top bell, whatever channel y'all watching this soon, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here.